All right, Iran's oil minister says the nation can boost its oil production a week after international sanctions are lifted. That would include 500,000 barrels a day within a week and 1 million barrels a day within a month. Joining us now is RJ O'Brien Managing Director John Brady. Good morning and great to see your smiling face, John. Are we seeing selling in crude because of this, or is this the broader commodity sell-off that we're seeing this morning?
Well, I think it's both, Sandra, but to address your question specifically to the crude oil market, WTI crude, which is the pricing mechanism for Iranian crude oil, has seen volumes this morning extraordinarily heavy, running about 34% above its 15-day moving average. And shortly before I came on here, the ICE exchange in London released its most recent open interest figures, and speculative longs in WTI Brent were down about 34,000 on the week. However, the bad news for those who still trade crude is that there are still over 175,000 net longs in the contract.
What's the takeaway from that? Yeah.
So the long story short is going to be there's probably more downside pressure to WTI crude. And it's not just the Iranian story that you have brought up, but it's also the slowing demand in China. And recall likewise that Iraq capacity and Libyan capacity are yet running at full throttle. And when they do return to the markets, WTI crude will go even lower. So it appears as if WTI crude has got lower to go here. And the Iranian story and the slowing Chinese economy are the two stories driving it this morning.
Mike Murphy's going to jump in.
So at what point can an improving U.S. economy kind of balance this out and put in a floor in WTI?
Well, I don't think WTI really I don't think the American economy is really going to drive WTI because China is still seen as the global growth leader. And with the economic data out of China this weekend, this is really kind of what's driving the trade. Likewise, too, Mike, I would suggest that U.S. economic growth averaged about 1.5% in the first half of 2015. Friday's employment wage data was awfully soft, and there's now chatter within the interest rate markets that the Fed, in fact, may punt any rate normalization in 2015 and maybe put that into 2016 for fear that the downside of U.S. economic performance remains larger than the upside.
When I used to spend a bunch of time in Chicago, I'd always look to John to get me, what do I need to know today? And one big takeaway from our conversation right now is that you're seeing heavy volume on this selling to the downside in the front month crude oil contract. To me, that says that there's more selling to come, and I think that's what you're telling us as we see crude oil prices down again another percent this morning at $46.40 a barrel. How low could it go, John?
Well, it's probably going to go to the high 30s, Sandra, because the Iranians, given their financial situation, are most likely going to get to 1 million barrels a day before the 1 month period. They're going to make every effort to get to that level. And keep in mind that their rivals in the region, the Saudis, will most likely increase production as well. It's going to become a race to the bottom. It's probably going to $38 a barrel.
There you have it. John Brady.
But gas prices under $2 a gallon, you're going to see that by the end of the year in almost half the number of states in this country.
Wow.
Yep.
Below $2. All right.